Hello boys and girls. So in today's video I want to be looking at the cinematography of a Christmas NHS advert in which poor old Santa got COVID and had to be rescued and saved by the NHS. The ad was pretty controversial and has since been pulled from TV and taken off YouTube, but we're not here to discuss the controversy of the advert. We're here to look at the cinematography of this ad, because regardless of what the content of this ad, is shot really well. So let's dive into Premiere and take a look at it. So first things first, let's just play the ad through quickly. It's only a minute long, I think. Oh, poor Santa. Weepy. Yeah, we'll just skip through a bit of that. We'll get to the end here. She realizes it's Santa. Flashback to Santa. Oh, very nice. Okay, so first thing you notice, right, image is very, very dark. Look at the waveform here. The majority of that image is living below 40% IRE. That's not typical of most adverts you see. Most adverts are lit up like a Christmas tree, really, really bright. Everything's exposed, like, you know, you can think of it like the TV series Friends, where everyone is just lit up. Everyone's lit all around, bright, bright, bright. And if you look at the colouring throughout this ad, I mean, it's a hospital, so you kind of think of it to be quite blue anyway, but the blues are really, really pushed here. The whole image has got this kind of teal and orange kind of vibe going on, which is, in the filmmaking world, is a bit of a cliche these days, but it works. Basically, let me skip to a frame on the end here. So this is a frame here from Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol, I believe, and you can see the same sort of color vibe. Next one is the TV show. This is taken from the TV show Ozarks. Same deal again. Most of the levels are living below 40. So this ad for the NHS is taking a really cinematic type approach with the way that they've done it. Let's take a look at a couple of stills in detail. So I'm going to skip over to Photoshop here. So as I talked about in my video yesterday, we are pushing light in upstage key. So light is coming from this way, light in the opposite side of Santa's face, and we're filming, the camera's facing in to the shadow, creating depth. Whereas if you look on an earlier shot on this video, it just doesn't look as good. There, so on this shot, you've got the light isn't coming from the opposite side of his face. The light is coming from the window, which we've just established from this scene here. Yeah, so the window's there. So on that shot, if we just take that frame, so we can see the light's pushing in from this direction through the window, and that shot there, the camera would have been here somewhere. So you're filming in the same direction as the light, which is kind of what I spoke about in the last video. It just doesn't look as good. I mean, if you look at that frame there, as opposed to that frame's much more interesting, more depth, because the light is coming from the opposite side of the camera. Old Santa Claus, it only appears to be about 50, I would say. It's quite young, quite a young Santa. Yeah, this shot I really, really like. In terms of the lighting, you got a couple of tubes, a couple more, one there, just adding some spill onto that back wall. And I would guess that they've got another top light out of the frame here, which is skirted off all the way around it so that the light doesn't spill onto that back wall to make that back wall really, really bright. You don't want that, but that's just adding some light onto their head there, top of the heads. And then this practical light here is turned on, which is lightening up this side of his face here, and then this practical is not on. So you've got more shadow here because it's quite a wide shot, so I don't see how they could have had any. They might have negative fill on this side out of the frame, possibly, but it's quite a wide frame, so you'd have to get it just off camera to create this dark side of his face there. That's again nice frame there. They've probably, if we just export that out as well. So this one, yeah, you've got this window which is being lit up from outside. I would say that they've diffused that window off because you don't want to see what's on the outside of it, so it's just like one big diffusion. And then you've got the curtains over there to control where the light's spilling, but over here really, really dark, or kind of all dark around here. It might have been pulled down in post. Just really focuses your eye where you want to look, which is right there. Very, very nice frame. The thing with talking about all this kind of stuff is as well, it might look like this is really easy to do, but this is really, really hard to do. The projects I shoot where it's pretty much no crew, it's a struggle. Even when I've got all the time in the world, God knows what it must be like when this is a big budget ad, the time pressure, the budget pressure and everything else. To get these shots looking right really takes some absolute skill. Again, always shooting another one. Let's export this. We're generally always shooting, camera is always shooting into shadow. So light is coming toward camera. But your talent, your actors and stuff, are being lit on the opposite side to the camera, which just creates this depth because you've got like light coming in here, and then it's slightly darker there, light coming in through this window, but then she's much darker, nice bit of light there, darker, just creates an interesting image. Whereas if this was all, if I just undo all of that, if this was lit the opposite way, you can imagine her dress is like really lit up. This is all really lit up, which means that wall's all really lit up. Everything's just lit. It basically would look flat and shit, basically. But yeah, this is hard to do. It's hard to do well. Then this one, again, they break the rules, because on this frame, and then this one here, and I'll show you what I mean. So, you tell me, which is the more interesting frame? On this one, you got the light coming camera side. So downstage key, the opposite of what I like. This one, upstage key, nice and tasty, more depth. For me, this is the much better image than this image. So, yeah, that's kind of my breakdown of this ad. It's very well shot. It's cool. Shouldn't have pulled it, but scaring the kids to death apparently. So, Santa being with the COVID. So yeah, people weren't happy. But you see this teal and orange, teal background, all teal. This is definitely done in color grading. Skin nice and orange, background teal. There's no way that was shot on set like that. These cabinets and things were probably more white in reality, and that green tint has been pushed in, or teal tint has been pushed in post-production, making it look a bit like that of Mission Impossible or that of Ozarks. But yeah, done tastefully, still looks awesome. So anyway, that's the end of this little breakdown. I hope you enjoyed it. Goodbye.